Hello friends, it's me Lucid. So happy you guys could join me in today's video. Now I know it's been a month, but that doesn't mean I haven't been busy. So without further ado, I'm gonna show you guys something new in 3, 2, 1, let's jam. Quiet. Do you hear that? All that you need to know right now is that it's just me and you, no one else. So that being said, turn off the lights, grab some headphones, grab a blanket and a snack, sit back and relax and enjoy these videos. Now I know this probably isn't going to be seen by a lot of people, but I needed to get this out. I live in southeastern Arizona and have been experiencing some crazy things lately. I'll start from the first encounter. It all started when me and my mom, the only ones left awake at the time, were sitting on the couch watching TV, when suddenly we made out a very distinct female scream. Me and my mom got up and checked on my sister, who was sleeping. Now I'm sure this was just a normal scream, like someone scared someone else. Something like that. But this detail becomes relevant later on. Next up, me and my friend were hanging out in my backyard. My backyard is big and has a small portion of the alleyway, where it's elevated to almost the same level as my wall. Anyways, we had a fire going on in our fire pit and were overall having fun. Till we heard some strange noises coming from the alley. It's hard to remember what noise it was, but it got me and him spooked enough to look around. I got on top of my trampoline and looked down at the end of the alleyway, where a single light post was. I saw a figure standing there. Couldn't make out any features, but could tell they were looking directly at me, and just staring. I got down and told my friend what I saw. He got up, and as well said he spotted the same thing, not moving a muscle. He got down and we decided to ignore it. Maybe it's a person, right? Well, the next weekend I invited him over and he spent the night. That's when things got truly weird. From my room window, there was a blind spot in the very corner of my backyard. Now before I continue, we had a fire going that night as well. During this fire vibe time, we heard a female scream. Now, I'm not one to ignore this type of thing, especially when it sounded from directly in my alley. So home and my friend grabbed a light and jumped my alley wall. To our surprise, there was nothing there. But at the center of my alley, the neighbors' dogs were freaking out. Standing at their fence gate barking and growling at literally nothing, or what we thought was nothing at the time. My friend then suddenly backed up and tapped my shoulder aggressively. He pointed out a figure who was slowly emerging from the bushes on one side of the alley. I shined the light and, I kid you not, a completely pale figure with no facial features or anything at all really, darts across the alley at lightning speed and out of sight. My friend and I, who we will call James, books it back to my house. We ran inside and locked the doors, deciding to call it quits for the night. Not really being able to see what this thing could have been. While chilling in my room at around midnight, we heard a loud thud from outside. Keep in mind, I have a dog, a Labrador who is inside my room with the door closed and locked. James and I look out my window and see a pale face quickly dart from looking at us to hiding behind the alley wall. We grabbed my knife and decided to walk to my room door, where my dog is perked up and staring at my door. James and I bring my dog inside and wait it out. I honestly don't think we slept that night. Fast forward a week later, and I'm riding my bike in a wash at around 7 p.m. I look at the end of the wash and see another pale creature dart across from one side to the other. Physically shaken, I pedaled my bike as fast as I could the half-mile back to my house. The whole time on edge and paranoid as hell, constantly looking at my surroundings. I make it home and lock my doors, deciding to just stay inside the rest of the night. Fast forward to the most recent encounter. My friend and I went camping. We were only camping in my backyard since it's big enough, and we had nowhere else to go at the time, since it wasn't really a planned camping trip. We sat inside the tent just listening to scary stories and looking at the fire going inside my fire pit. We then both heard a very distinct knock sound, followed by a legit screech. Loud, but from far away, and very inhuman screech at that. We freak out and James grabs his gun, which wasn't real. It was just an incredibly powerful BB rifle made for hunting small animals. It was the best we had. We walked out, and as I looked up to the elevated side of the alley, I see a featureless face peeking and staring at me. I yell at James, and as he looks, him and I witnessed the creature retreat back behind the wall. Needless to say, we went inside for the rest of the night. Last year, I was living in a small mountain town in central southern Colorado in the Rio Grande National Forest. Super small town. 50 natives were tragically killed in the whole area of the town. I don't usually get creepy vibes when I'm there, but it's definitely weird in many ways. I was in my car at 2 a.m. with a friend. We were parked outside our house looking down the road with only the street light across the street lighting up the area. From 15 yards in front of us, we see a large animal emerge from darkness and catch the light. We started asking each other what it was that was so big. Like the size of a small horse or big deer. It then walks towards us and stands 1 yard away from my door. We were frozen, unable to move while we stare at it so close to us. And I say, "Is that a wolf?" It's all I could think it could be. Tall, completely silver. Looked like a wolf from a movie. As it stands so close to us, it looks up to the sky to the left, then to the right. Then it runs away towards the large cliffs at the back of the town, where the abandoned mines are and a large forest begins. We were stunned, stayed frozen and silent, just for a few minutes until we started laughing. Eventually calmed down and then we went inside, confused as all hell. After that, I told some coworkers thinking how cool it was that I saw a wolf. They all said it was impossible. No wolves have lived there for decades. So I researched. They're right. No wolves have been here for like 40 years, and it would be a miracle if I had seen one, especially a gray wolf. As I look at more pictures of wolves, my memory becomes clear. What I saw was too tall and silver to even be a gray wolf. My friend and I had not forgotten one detail of this story. I'm sure it wasn't a dog. If it was, that's the biggest dog I've ever seen. I remember the world washing away as I stared at its shining fur. It was the most majestic animal I've ever seen. There were chills covering my body, and I could barely breathe. Do you think I saw a Skinwalker?